With this video, we begin a new series focusing on the research essay. And it's only appropriate to talk about the differences between a research essay and an academic essay in the series that we just completed. And if you haven't seen the academic essay series, you can click the link below and look through all of the video segments. But I think it's important that we talk about the differences, and then we'll talk about some of the commonalities. Undoubtedly, the biggest difference between a research essay and an academic essay are the sources. Sources enrich your essay, and they also complicate it. And one of the first things we'll have to do when we're writing a research essay is to compile a bibliography. So we're going to talk about that in this series. And along with that, you'll need to prioritize your sources, which are most critical to read first and which can wait until later. And along with this practice, we must employ some source criticism. In other words, we must understand how to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of a given source. Beyond that, we have to incorporate these sources and the ideas that are contained therein into your own argument. This is not always easy. Young researchers are often confused about what to include and how to include it. Should we quote it? Should we paraphrase it? Or should we summarize it? We're going to talk about all of these distinctions and provide some guidelines along which to help you navigate this very sometimes difficult aspect of research writing. And because we're dealing with sources, it's incumbent upon us to have a literature review in most cases. A literature review is where you address the key ideas in your topic and identify the sources or the authors that are associated with these ideas. The rationale behind this is that then you will posit or position your own argument somewhere in the middle or between all of these to show a little bit of novelty. And if we're using sources, we obviously need to learn how to footnote them. Which information needs a footnote, which information doesn't. I'll help you understand all of this. And there are many footnote styles to choose from, and we'll briefly touch on a few of the most popular and important. And because we're dealing with sources and a research essay as such, we should also consider the degree of novelty. Research essays, unlike normal academic essays, try to provide a little bit of novelty, something new, however small, that you can provide to that area of knowledge. And finally, the introduction is much more elaborate and longer, as you might suspect, because we're including a lit review. Oftentimes we're discussing a methodology, your approach to the sources or the topic. And then, of course, we highlight some of the key sources used, especially if they're original sources. And we'll talk about original or first-hand sources in this series. And finally, there's a more elaborate argumentation because research essays are generally longer. After all, we're dealing with other people's ideas, incorporating it into our own argument, and this produces a longer essay. Now, I'm not suggesting that the research essay is completely different from the academic essay. There are some similarities, and you'll be able to use the knowledge you learned in the first series to help you write a research essay. To begin with, the structure is basically the same. We have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. And I have a video in the academic essay series which discusses structure. Take a look at that if you'd like. Thesis statements or main ideas are also common between the two forms of essay writing. You're attempting to make an argument or justify an opinion. And the paragraph structure remains the same. You'll need a topic sentence for both types of essays, and they generally head up the paragraph and they support your main idea. And finally, you'll want to include linking ideas. All paragraphs need to be properly linked to the preceding or following paragraph. This can be accomplished with a word, a phrase, or a sentence. I discussed linking sentences in the previous series, and I'll touch on it again in this series. So let's get started on writing a research essay. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next week.